because we do get a bad rap. And there's so many good brothers out there that want to be involved in their kids' lives. And we have so many women, I'm talking to you, women right now, that go after us. And you always talk about you want a good man. And when you get a good man and that man and you don't happen to, work out, you want to really try to take him to the cleaners.
Most women just want y'all and us to be decent. See, like in the podcast world, we're not going to interview the woman that tells the truth.
So you should have a roster.
Always, always. I call it Olympic dating. You got to have a gold medalist, a silver medalist, and a bronze medalist.
Expand on that for me, because some people would say you got too much going on. You're not focusing on one thing, so your attention is divided.
It should be, because none of these men are the one until they're the one.
Don't act like wifey. You are not responsible for cooking him dinner. You are not responsible for doing his laundry. You are not responsible for going to his apartment and cleaning up his apartment.
They just want you to be trustworthy and disciplined.
A lot of women say, oh, but I can't do that. It's too much. And to the women that say that, I say it is probably too much because you're treating one man and giving 100% of your energy to each man.
You are not responsible for taking on a bill and sharing a phone bill because it's only a $10 add-on.
And dependable and loyal and honest.
Yeah, you're expending 300% of your energy and heart space and love. And each of these men should have 33%.
And when it comes to your ability to earn, they want you to work hard. They want you to give effort. They want you to be accountable.
Should the men know that they are one of many?
If they ask, we should be honest. What I know for sure is that men who are very determined about you don't care.
They want you to be the sort of person that if they work together with you, you can build a life together that's worth more than $100 million or worth more than $6 million a year.
No, but I absolutely cannot stand when a man tells me that he likes me. Or he's like, oh, you're beautiful. Okay, and like what exactly am I supposed to do with that information?
Dudes, women want us to stand up for them, to support them.
6 foot is only tall if you are a woman who's below like 5'3". But I'm like 5'6" and some change. 6 foot is not that tall. Like, I don't have to like tilt my chin upwards to look at you. If I don't have to tilt my chin up and go like this to look at you, you're not that tall.
To make them feel safe, to make them feel protected, and to do anything that we can to feed them and our babies.
Like, is that going to somehow make my life better because you like me? A lot of people like me. I'm very likable. I know I'm beautiful.
It really don't start getting up there until like 6'2". Sorry.
Why do you telling me that think that that's supposed to move me in some way? Like, is it gonna, I don't know, end wars, solve the hunger crisis? Is it gonna pay my rent? Like, what can I do with that? Like, what value does you giving me a compliment actually serve?
And they just want us to be present. So you can listen to all these folks talking about how much money you need to make. And that's why they're sitting there by themselves doing those interviews, because that ain't real life.
Give me something that I can use, and then maybe we can talk.
And I wondered if you'd stop by the library for me and pick up a book. Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm? I need it for a book report.
Cousy would electrify the league with his flair and showmanship.
The remarkable Bob Cousy. Since this playoff ends Bob's career as a player, we'd like to pay him his closing tribute. We know you'd like to see some highlights of his fantastic basketball wizardry.
You could bring it by my house if you like.
Well, that's swell, Penny. I'll do that.
Now to Cousy. Blind pass.
The 13-time All-Star, a league MVP, a Hall of Famer, and one of the 50 greatest players of all time.
Goodbye. Bye.
Nothing pisses me off more than when a man that looks like the shit on the bottom of my shoe is like, hey, can I take you out?
Offensive glass in favor of Boston. Oh! Shot before he catches the ball. He's been in a...
Now, I'm not going to say I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I know I ain't ugly. Where the fuck did you get that idea that I would actually go out with you?
The start of all 6 games for the Magic this year.
I'm not the kind of guy that's going to dump on players that were great in their era. Bob Cousy was certainly great. I just wasn't born yet to see him be great. And he was great in the league that didn't have a lot of brothers in it. But if you try and imagine giving someone that has Bob Cousy's level of ability and athleticism the pointers to try and go against Avery Bradley, he just can't do it. He cannot get the ball up the court against Avery Bradley. One of the things that really gets my blood going is when I hear guys give the all shucks, leave it to Beaver, Bob Cousy type of advice to guys that are going against Avery Bradley. It's just not fair, and it's just going to get them eaten up. And so why not give guys more up-to-date, better information as to how to deal with the modern dating market, because it's vicious out there.
Excuse me? Do you come here often, or?
Come here at a gym. Come here often.
Anyways.
Good try. Good try. Don't ever use that again, though.
Of course, I think there's a place for dating coaches and guys that teach game, but in a society where young ladies can turn this kind of interaction into a piece of social media that can go viral and even generate income for them, there is little incentive, or should I say less and less incentive for guys to try and approach and make that first step. You hear many young ladies speak about why guys aren't approaching. Well, this is just the beginning of the interaction. And these young ladies, and I'm not going to do any rating, but they feel entitled to embarrass this man by basically atomic rejection.
Most women just want y'all and us to be decent.
Decent like this, Ryan Clark?
Thank you so much for the drinks.
Yeah.
My boyfriend is here, so I have to go.
Nasty drinks. Okay. Does they buy you drinks all night?
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
See ya. Thank you.
The reason why I refer to Ryan Clark's advice as Bob Cousy leave it to Beaver advice is because maybe in the 1960s what this guy did would have been looked upon as something chivalrous, and maybe he would have gotten the girl. But they're not playing against Bob Cousy. They're playing against Avery Bradley. And this dude's like, hey, thank you for getting my girl drunk so I can take her home and have fun with her. And he might be dating other women at the same time. Who's losing here? It's certainly not the guy that's going home with a girl, and maybe not even the girl herself, because she's willingly participating in this. It's the guy that's trying to be the nice guy in a world that just doesn't really reward nice guys. Or should I say decent guys?
Most women just want y'all and us to be decent.
There are a lot of words that you could use for describing the modern day dating market, but I don't know if decent is the first one that comes to mind. When many young ladies enter the dating market, they're looking to gain as much as they can from the men that they're dating. And if you go into that dating market as a wide-eyed, naive guy, you're ripe for the taking. And that's the message that this space is delivering to guys. Not that leave it to Beaver, Bob Cousy stuff. The problem with a millionaire former NFL athlete telling the guy who was eating ramen noodles either in the back of his cab while he was taking on extra truck runs so that he could make the money to become a Henry in training, or the guy who was eating ramen noodles in his dorm room while he was studying for finals and took 10 years in his career to be on his way to being a high value man, is that his experience was he was 22, 23. He was a specimen of a human, and someone gave him millions of dollars to be a human ping pong ball. And essentially, he's talking to himself. When I was 22, 25, I should have been a more decent guy. But he didn't have to be a decent guy to date the young ladies that he dated. He's not speaking to the regular guys who didn't just show up and got young ladies because they were amazing athletes or specimens of humans. He's trying to talk to himself and guys like himself who didn't need to be good people to get young ladies. He's giving Bob Cousy advice to guys that are going against Avery Bradley.
Here's something important for you fellas. A way to indicate how much you can afford to spend.
How would you like this hamburger deluxe? I've had it before and it's pretty good.
Ladies, this is how you get taken on a $1,000 first date, coming from somebody who's been on multiple $1,000 first dates / second dates. Michelin restaurants, I'm talking helicopter rides, sailing, single plane engine ride, all on first dates or second dates.
The thing for Alice to do is check the price of the hamburger deluxe.
I'm looking at that dry-aged porterhouse.
126.
That may not be what she wants, but it gives her a guide to about how much Danny wants to spend.
What to do if he says the place you picked is too expensive for a first date? Say, oh, I go there all the time. A man should always have enough money to impress the woman he's trying to impress. He's trying to impress you by telling you to choose a less expensive place. How impressive is that? Not at all. Okay?
I think I'll have a chicken salad sandwich.
Watch. It's Danny who gives both orders to the waitress.
We'll have a chicken salad sandwich and a hamburger deluxe and 2 glasses of milk, please.
Most women just want y'all and us to be decent. Okay, so I'm no dating guru or relationship specialist, but I've been seeing these clips going around about how much women need a month to be with a man, or like what their net worth has to be. And dudes, don't pay no attention to that and be like, see, I told y'all they was like that, because that ain't real life. Hell, most women just want y'all and us to be decent.
You hear that, guys? All you have to do is be decent, and you won't have to worry about getting caught up in this situation like we're hearing another pro basketball player talk about, which is actually more pertinent to all of this conversation that we're having.
As men, we get a bad rap of being deadbeat fathers, but the system has been, against us for so many years. Yeah. And I think what you guys are doing, and I want to give a shout out to Horace. Horace, my man, brother, I appreciate what you're doing. It's been a pleasure getting to know you the last week or so, because it's really been a week. I've known you as a basketball player, but now I'm knowing you as a person, and being able to sit down and see what you're trying to do here in this space is unheard of, because we do get a bad rap. And there's so many good brothers out there that want to be involved in their kids' lives. And we have so many women, I'm talking to you women right now, that go after us. And you always talk about you want a good man. And when you get a good man, and that man and you don't happen to, work out, you want to really try to take him to the cleaners. But we have so many good men out there that want to see their kids, want to be involved in their kids' lives, but you guys are taking it to a different level because of just being vengeful, right? This thing that what you guys are doing right now is unbelievable, and I praise you guys for it, because again, we should have the same rights as you do, and the system is made against us, right? It is really made against us, and I love the fact that you guys have been doing this.
It's only fair and proper for me to acknowledge one credit guy, Father Rights Edu Foundation, Horace Grant 54, and T-Mac Johnson for the conversation they were having. I want to find the full conversation itself, and I will continue to look for it. But this is a more pertinent conversation. When Dr. Tiasan Johnson introduced his black male political agenda, this is a conversation that's worth having over telling guys just be decent in an environment where young ladies understand that they can weaponize a man's sexual attraction for them and even his desire to be with a woman who is feigning the desire to start a family against him. And so instead of telling guys, hey, just be decent or just do the things that young ladies are asking you to do, that's the bare minimum, we need more specifics. You're telling guys to play a Bob Cousy game when they're looking across at Avery Bradley, and Avery Bradley's not playing with you. And many guys have found this out firsthand. And for guys who want to play this old game of, hey, all you got to do is just be a decent guy and everything's going to work out, well, enough guys have tried to do that they understand that it doesn't work, and that's why this space is here. Guys have tried being decent. Guys have tried being romantic and tried to court young ladies. But if you're courting a young lady who understands the modern environment and knows that she can use that environment to essentially get a child and resources out of you, or maybe even marry you under pretense that I'm going to be a good wife, and then once she gets that legal situation in place, she completely changes, how are guys supposed to fight against that? And the answer to that is, the environment has to change, and the legislation has to change along with it. For guys out here giving Bob Cousy advice, it's too late for that. Those behind-the-back passes when you had non-white dudes and Bill Russell on the court, they used to work, but they're probably not going to work when you have Avery Bradley and Victor Wembanyama on the court waiting in front of the basket. Guys like Ryan Clark have to be mindful that there are several generations of guys that have never had a young lady even smile at them as a boyfriend. And the idea of going up to a young lady and just being decent is almost laughable in an environment that is as vicious as the modern one has gotten. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you next video. Take care, guys.